Going to be an exciting day at NSL. Can't wait. almost time. NSL playoffs, let's go. Tell your friends. Get some more people. Let's get hype for the third place match at NSL. Hello and welcome to NSL6, the first week of the playoffs. We're here for the third place match. I'm excited. Going to be some excellent games today, including 2 sets by Vile Tomato. It's going to be the Vile Tomato show today. Really quick, right before we get into the first games, Poyo versus Tech. We're going to just run that Twitch ad so it doesn't interrupt us, and we're going to jump right into it. We'll be right back for the start of NSL6 playoffs. All right, everybody, time to get into it. Pollo, first Tech on Retro, Game 1, NSL6 playoffs. Let's go. Spawning in the top left of Retro, it's our Protoss player, Tech. And in the bottom right, it is our Terran player, Pollo. So this is nice already. It looks like there's definitely potential here for a large macro game being cross spawns right off the hop. That's a nice thing to see to sort of kick the day off. Retro, of course, is a sort of congested kind of map, right? The pathways on it can be a little difficult to do a PvT here, right? If you're trying to engage that Terran army, there's so many different choke points that Terran can just sort of block up, and it can be very difficult for Protoss to engage. So we might see out of Tech here some Arbiter play. Maybe a 2-base Arbiter, something like that. That would be personally what I would do on this map. It can be very tough to just go Gateway Man and overpower your opponent. And it looks like we have Tech here just with the Pylon Scout. And is he going cross map? No, he's not going cross map first. He is going normal rotation, so he will scout the cross spawn second. Very nice stuff. We have Pollo here with his first supply depot right on top of his command center. This will, of course, let the SCVs pop out a little bit closer to the mineral line. Small little efficiency thing, but very nice, as we've mentioned in casts before. And so we're gonna see what the openings are gonna be here. Obviously, right off the hop, not much can be said. Both players are doing what is completely standard: gateway gas, supply barracks gas. We're gonna have to see where it extends from here. Hey, what up, Black Swan? Who are you rooting for? Just Desserts? Did you put points down? Hell yeah, 300 points on Just Desserts. Gotta get that social credit score up. Okay, so Tech, he scouts the location of his opponent. Of course, Pollo is, he doesn't know where he is yet. He's going to scout him second as well, but he scouted a little bit later. Absolutely fine, because of course Tech is not doing any sort of like proxy 2-gate or anything like that. This Marine's going to come out here, going to sort of chase this probe away if he comes back. Oh, isn't that interesting? Where did he... Is he going... Oh, is he doing an end scout? Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, so Pollo here doing an end scout, so he's actually not going to scout Tech until last here. Not going to know he's cross-spawn until the very end. In some scenarios, an end scout, and an end scout is a N pathing, right? Like a shape of an N. In this case, a Z, sideways, but still they call it an end scout. But, it can be beneficial to know that your opponent is not in one of the close positions, even if you don't know what they're doing right away. This is curious, isn't it? A little 3-Marine push out here. Okay, there we go. He sees the probe. He's going to get that. That's free. Very nice. And Tech just opting. Looks like he's probably doing a 1-gate expand. Yeah, he's sending the probe out here now. He's got more than enough to hold off any pressure from his opponent. The Zealot and the Dragoon are very powerful in the early game. Oh, nice little block, too. Gets the scout. Very nice. Doesn't even let him get up the ramp. Of course, Pollo here, he sees the expansion, so he can pretty well guess what's going on. It's unlikely that you would fake an expansion, right? Set it down just for him to see it, and then cancel and go into mass. I don't know. That's not a thing, right? So both players feeling very comfortable to just take their bases, go into a normal sort of game. And sending the Zealot across at this point in time, I don't know that this is really going to get anything done, but likely this is so he can just confirm the CC, right? He didn't actually see the CC go down. His probe got killed by those 3 Marines here. So, oh, well, you don't want to chase that. Yeah, he needs to come across here, just run a little bit past the bunker and confirm this. Because if you don't confirm this, sometimes Terran, they could be doing like a 2-fact, right? The bunker up here could be a fake. if you don't actually see the command center, that can catch you off guard. Oh, and it looks like Pollo really wants to get up this ramp. He wants to know what's going on. And gentlemen, I don't think you can donate points, unfortunately. I wish that your social credit score was transferable, but unfortunately, Xi Jinping, he is very, very adamant that everyone behaves in accordance to the Communist Chinese Party, rules they've set out for their nation, okay? So no trading social credit scores, don't talk shit about the government, just watch some StarCraft, okay? Twitch doesn't even have features that RuneScape's been supporting for years. Dude, I love OSRS. Not going to get into that right now, but you ever want to talk OSRS sometime, I'm down. Okay, so tech. Very standard, right? 3 gates, robo. Going to get leg speed. Very standard stuff. Playing it super safe. And this is a good timing on this too. Pollo making sure he does not skip the engineering bay. Likely going to get a turret here. Probably one here as well. Doesn't want Reaver harassing him. Doesn't want to die to DTs. Because he could not get up here, right? He tried twice. He tried with 2 SCVs and he could not confirm what's going on. So he has no clue what's coming. Fortunately for him, it is just a simple 3-gate robo. Very simple, very safe. So he doesn't have anything to worry about. But, Terrans, they lament this, right? They go, okay, well, I have to just prepare for everything. This matchup is so unfair because I don't know possibly what's coming. I have to prepare for every scenario. And then if they don't do one, they're ahead, right? Oh, I am not sure what happened right there. Did he just target his own Dragoon accidentally? Whoops. 3 tanks at home. He definitely didn't bring anything across. Oh, strange. Okay. Oh, and look at this. So it looks like tech is going to go... This is going to be his tech of choice. You see what I did there? He's going to go for some High Templar Storm Drops, looks like. Oh, never mind. 3 DTs. Wow. Okay, so 1 missile turret. Got Comsat up. Comsat up. Missile turret. This isn't going to do anything. My goodness. However, this is sort of the standard way that you go into your 2-base Arbiter, like we were saying at the start of the game, right? From here, you just plop down a Stargate, get your Arbiter tech right after. You've already got this, and you usually open with the DT drop off of this. So even though he's not going to be able to really get anything done with these 3 DTs, because there's so much detection already, this can still give you a huge map presence, right? You cannot really move out as Terran very easily when you know there's DTs on the map. You have to be very conservative with your scans, right? If you get out into an area, 3 DTs from this shuttle walk up to your base, you have no scan. 3 DTs, every swipe, that's a tank gun, right? That can turn sideways very quickly, so he's got to be careful. This force, though, I don't think Tech is going to find much with this here. Even scouts the shuttle immediately. Very nice. Yeah, and he's added even more turrets. He is completely safe here. Pollo, no fear of this attack. Okay, we're starting to add in zealots now. We should have legs. Going for a second shuttle. Very curious. I wonder if he's just going to do a bulldog of some kind here. But I don't see that working. 4 tanks, full bunker, another 2 tanks on the high ground. I feel like that'd be suicide, but, I mean, then again, you are Protoss. Third factory going down. No armory just yet. Oh, I lied. It's hidden behind the UI. There it is. +1 halfway finished. Very good. So Pollo, he's on top of things, man. He's got very nice timings here. He's scouting out the thirds of his opponent. He feels probably in control right now. The main issue is going to be pushing out trying to take a third for him. But I really don't see much of a problem with this. What do we have here? 8 Dragoons. He doesn't know what's in the shuttle. Doesn't know that it's DTs. Second shot. Oh, he's gonna. Oh my god. Is he really gonna go for this? I can't believe this. Tech, you are a madman. He's gonna really try to bulldog this. Against this much. There's no way this works. Loses the shuttle. Doesn't get him out. Loses the second shuttle. Only gets 2 of those zealots out. Oh, and a disastrous attack here for Tech. We just threw away so many resources, and this is Poyo's game to lose now. We lost 2 shuttles, 3 Dark Templar, 2 Zealots, and 3 Dragoons. And what did we gain? A tank? Poyo, he was ready for this. He was absolutely ready for this. It might have almost been better for Tech to just shuttle stuff up here. Just come up here, use the 2 shuttles, drop, take out this turret, and force him to move this position of tanks. There was no hope in that attack succeeding. I'm shocked that he tried that. He's going to take a third, and it looks like he takes it a little bit back because of that mine, but just gets it down anyways. That's fine. So how is Tech going to claw his way back into this game? He has expended all of his opening on that attack and failed dramatically, very unfortunately. And this is scary. I mean, Poyo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tanks, more on the way. We're going up to 6 factories. Ooh, this is going to be dicey for Tech to hold here. He's got a decent-sized ground army at home. It all comes down to the engagement, of course. If you can catch the army unsieged, you do have leg speed. Miracles can happen, but it's going to be a rough one. Oh, and maybe Tech feeling a little bit of the pressure right now. Dropping down a second citadel. He's got one right here. That's got to be a mistake. Is Addy in his Stargate so we can get that Arbiter Tech? Very good. And Poyo looks just content to take a third here, which is perfectly fine too when you're in this scenario, right? When you get ahead like that after such a blunder from your opponent, no problem taking a third on location. Oh, and he doesn't even have leg speed, my goodness. I thought he had already gotten it. I think Tech maybe feeling a little bit rattled here. You know, and that's a shame, too, because he is a very strong player. Like, we've casted a lot of Tech's games before, and, you know, he's not a pushover. He's not a bad player by any means, so just for perhaps an opening going wrong like that just really threw him off his game. The supply is still relatively even, but that tank count keeps climbing, and that's a really scary thing to deal with. Oh, and it's going to be carrier, not arbiter Tech, so really depends how long this goes unscouted, right? If we get this 6-fact push coming out before this is ready, Protoss is likely dead. But idle factories, we don't have a lot coming right now. And he sees it. Oh, and he did scout it, so Poyo, he knows exactly what's going on. A 3rd Stargate being added, and this might convince him to pull the trigger and just move across the map here. When your opponent goes carriers after an opening like that, you know he's feeling a bit desperate. He's looking for a Hail Mary, trying to catch you off guard. Hopefully he did see that. It was just the corner, but he saw the fleet beacon, so he must know. Third CC now finished, adding another comsat. This is very good. A lot of Terrans forget to do this at the lower levels, right? They get the first 2 comsats on their first 2 CCs, and they don't keep adding them. Even if you can't hotkey them, in a pinch, right? Like, you get some DTs harassing a base or something similar, you got to detect for, you know, any Arbiter Tech. Having more comsats is never bad. They're so cheap in comparison to what they get you. Adding the 2nd Cyber Core for more air upgrades. Excellent. And all things considered, even after that attack, like, Tech is kept up in the worker count. You know, they're dead even on workers, almost even on supply. So it really is going to come down to any engagements. That is a lot of vultures. Well, 3 Dragoons are not going to defend this. He needs to move. So he's going to lose all of these probes here. Oh, but he focuses the cannons. Perhaps not the right play. He could have killed all of these probes. So a little bit of a windfall there for Tech, right? Poyo's donating him some units. Very nice. He only did get 6 probes for that. He lost all of those vultures. Fairly good trade, right? But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, the tank count is starting to get out of control. We have more tanks on the way. Double upgrades going. Already a +1/+1. First carrier's out, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough here. You know, I do feel like we're not really respecting this though as Poyo. Yet to see a single Goliath added, so I mean, he must have seen that. He scanned it. He had to have seen this coming. If he just folds to this, that's going to be very unfortunate. But you know what? It's not too scary yet. We're going to have, as these pop, we're going to have 5 carriers. And Tech is kind of broke at the moment. So all of his income is going to be going to maintaining this. He's taking a cheeky 4th base again, scouted by a mine. Now Poyo, he's got to move, man. Here we go. We got some Goliaths now, but he's got to move before this carrier count gets high. We've got the upgrades going. +1 air weapons. Going to finish before anything engages here. Perhaps he's just waiting for his +2/+2 before he actually pulls the trigger and makes the move. Well, here we go. 2 carriers out. 5 are going to be out by the time that this hits. I truly think he has not seen this. My goodness. Tech may be the luckiest man alive. Wow. I mean, there's no upgrades on them yet, but still, if you have nothing that shoots up, it doesn't matter. His best play would be to, when he sees the carriers, immediately walk across the map. Oh, and they're going to bypass each other here. Poyo, he's looking for his opponent's army. Here it is. What does he do now? Where does he go? Does he just walk across the map? He has nothing to fight these carriers. Goliath's mass panic production. Uh-oh, Tech. He might have pulled a rabbit out of a hat here, but can he repel this attack from his opponent as natural? Carriers are great unless you have nothing to build with. We are going to get into a base trade scenario. I cannot believe this. What is the old saying? Never base trade a Terran. And we now have the Goliaths coming out. So 7 factories pumping Goliaths. We should be able to stop 5 carriers eventually. He will lose his base, but he has no way to stop this force at his door. The vultures are going to come up. There is nothing here. He's going to kill all of the probes of his opponent if he just walks over to the mineral line. Tanks shelling away at this other base. He does need to move this science vessel up for some vision. Meanwhile, the carriers continuing to push into the base of Poyo. Goliaths are here to defend. They have good upgrades. This, combined with the turrets in the bunker, should be enough. And Poyo moving up into the production of his opponent. It's starting to look a little hopeless here for Tech. He clears this. He does manage to save his 3rd base. He's got some Dragoons and 2 carriers. Still, nothing here shoots up, but he's lost a lot in here. More carriers at the base of his opponent, but I think Poyo is going to be able to hold on with these Goliaths constantly coming out. Really not a lot of damage on the carriers at all, though, so some decent trades overall. What a nail-biter of a game here. Who's going to win? And here we go. The rest of the army coming up for Poyo. Going to look to take out this 3rd base, so there's nothing left mining for his opponent. Tech has such a bank, though. You know, and he doesn't lose the carrier production, it looks like. Oh, but that's it, Tech. He taps out. He says, that's enough. I feel like with that bank, he could have used the carriers coming in to repel this force, and he could have resumed carrier production, resumed building drones. I mean, he did take out a decent amount of his opponent, and he has no money. But of course, hindsight's 20/20, and he may not have known that at the time. Okay, so that puts our Terran player, Poyo, on the board. Game 1. Very nicely done. We're going to go to a very quick commercial break, and we will be right back for Game 2 of the NSL6 playoffs. 3rd place match. Just desserts versus Rockets Raiders. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready for Game 2, Poyo vs. Tech? Let's get right into it. Spawning in the top left of 76, everyone's favorite map in the tournament, it's Poyo. And in the bottom left, we have our Protoss player, Tech. 76, one of the funnest maps in the pool, especially these starting minerals, right? Seeing the players go to jump as well. Looks like Tech going to jump right away. I believe these disappear, if I remember correctly, at the 53-second mark. He's looking to jump right over here. Is he going to succeed? Well, come on, Tech. I know you can do it. I know you can do it, buddy. Come on. We got Poyo doing the same on the other side. The minerals are going to disappear, boys. We got to get through. We got to get through. Tech looks like he's getting through. What about Poyo? Close, but no cigar. So it looks like Poyo, very unfortunately, traps this SCV too. Does not get through. That is unfortunate. Okay, so what are we going to do from here? Well, just gonna go into a normal game, I guess. Barracks before supply. Oh my goodness, I think Poyo practiced getting over that in training, and it didn't go so well for him this time, and he's really thrown off now. That might have been his whole strategy. Barracks and gas, no supply depot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Oh! Okay, well, defeated by the map. Poyo, everything went wrong. Right off the hop. Didn't build a supply depot, went barracks, went refinery, and he goes, fuck, GG. Okay, well, that was short but sweet. You know, I think we're gonna just jump right into Game 3, and we're gonna maybe pretend that didn't happen. We don't want to embarrass anyone on this stream. We're not into that. We don't do that here. I think we're gonna just jump right into Game 3. Okay, here we go. Game 3, Poyo vs. Tech. It's on Paradiso, so there's yeah. Lightstorm says on to Game 2 now. Yeah, exactly. Paradiso, Poyo vs. Tech. Let's go. Alright, spawning in the top right of Paradiso. It's our Terran player with an unfortunate accident last game, Poyo. And in the bottom left, our Protoss player picking up a freebie, but he doesn't need it. It's Tech. And again, cross spawn. So maybe another big macro game here. Love to see it. Always love seeing those big macro games where players really get the opportunity to shine, show what they're made out of. And I mean, if you're in Poyo's situation, you probably feel a little embarrassed after that, eh? Right? I probably would have played it out, just just to see if there was anything that could have happened. Who knows? Maybe your opponent made the same kind of mistake. You don't know, right? 76 is a tough map. But I mean, at the same time, I also get it. You know, you just go, okay, let's not throw good money after bad. Let's just move on, not dwell on it. We fucked up. Let's go to the next one. Clear mind, blank slate, right? So I get it both ways. Oh, strange. Tech, he went for the pylon scout here, but then he turns around. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe just a misclick? Yeah, he must have been spammy or something. Accidentally hit his probe hotkey and turned around. There he goes, back on the scout path. Nice little Sim City here, both getting the SCVs out to closer to the minerals and give you a micro hole here for your Marines. Good stuff out of Pollo. You know, and it's always crazy to me too, right? Like, this is the 9th place match. This is what you would call the lowest ranked match for this week, for the playoff week 1, right? But the lowest ranked match in Brood War is not like the lowest ranked match in any other game, right? We're not seeing any glaring, like, oh my goodness, this guy doesn't know how to play, or he can't macro, or his mechanics suck. Even at the lowest levels, people who play StarCraft Brood War are crazy at games, you know? So it's always entertaining to me to watch any level of StarCraft, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Thank you very much for tuning in to the NSL6 cast. It's been a couple of weeks. I enjoy doing this with you guys. I had to prep yesterday for my own matches, which is why we delayed the cast to today. So thank you for joining me on this comfy Sunday stream. I do appreciate you guys very much. And Pollo here, just being chased out. Pardon me, Tech being chased out. Pollo about to scout his opponent. And again, standard as before. Nice little block here, though, allowing him to get that scout. Nice little supply depot block. This can be very nice. You can either do one on that side or one on this side. Either way, they serve different purposes. Sometimes you can trap vultures back here or other units back here, you know, depending on the matchup. It's just nice to leave it open on one side to bait your opponent into going in. And here we go. So Pollo gets into the base of our Protoss player, sees exactly what's going on. It appears to be a 1-gate expand again, which is absolutely fine. I mean, a 1-gate expand, if you're a new Protoss player and you're looking to learn this matchup, there's a couple builds that you can do, but once you start like getting comfortable going into a macro game, this is one of the best openings in my opinion. I love doing just a simple 1-gate expand. You just get your macro engine rolling, and sure, you're giving up a little bit, like Terran here. He knows exactly what's going on. He doesn't need a bunker immediately. He delays it, right? Gets the CC first. But you also know that you're not going to be too far behind if your opponent did something completely greedy, right? So I like this build coming out of Tech here. It's one that I do all the time as well. Okay, and here we go. 2 Dragoons coming across the map. Range is 2/3 of the way done. Maybe call it 3/4. By the time he gets over here, almost finished. He can start picking away at this. And what is the first thing out of the factory going to be from Pollo? Siege. Okay, so very good. He's going to have to repair this bunker for a while, but then Siege will repel his opponent sooner rather than later. Oh, he cancels it. Oh, a little bit of indecision there. Maybe he was thinking he'd go mines instead, but then he saw the Dragoons and he went, oh crap, I have to get Siege. And this will be nice. Can he get over here over top of this before his opponent begins firing? You know, if you place this in a certain way over top of here, it can be difficult for, ooh, Tech, taking some hull damage. You need to back up. There we go. Gets in the right position now. No shots going towards this barracks. Uh-oh, he needs to get repair on here immediately. He needs another SCV. Has to sacrifice a Marine to keep that from going down. Very nicely played. Careful with the siege tank. You can't lose this. Okay, almost a disaster there, but Pollo, oh, he's got to be careful. These Dragoons taking a lot of hull damage, and softening these up is a very good thing to do in the early game. Gotta repair. Uh-oh, Pollo. You need one more SCV. He's gonna break this. But Siege is done. Siege is done. Oh, and he dives on the tank. I don't know. Another one on the high ground. Tech is going to lose all 3 Dragoons. He gets a tank. He gets 1 SCV and a bunker. Even-ish trades. Reducing the tank count is good in the early game. But losing your map presence with the 3 Dragoons there, you have no idea what your opponent's going to do now. We'll call that one 60-40. in favor of Pollo, I think. Oh, definitely a nice hold from Pollo, absolutely. He played that right. And Tech here going into the same thing we saw in the last macro game. We're going 3-gate Robo. Very nice. Oh, actually going up to 4 gates. Nothing wrong with that. He's got a little bit of money. Looks like that scout was denied here by Tech. We've rebuilt our Dragoon count a little bit, so we're feeling okay. And I like this. You know what? This is not something that every Terran player does, right? A lot of Terran players will just get the Engineering Bay at the start or just get the Academy at the start. They'll get detection one way or another. They won't get both, right? But that can backfire on you sometimes. I mean, DT drop comes in. You've only got 2 scans. You just run away from the scans, right? Or DT drop comes in. You've only got a turret here and maybe 1 here. If you're fast, you just kill that turret here and then you get everything, right? So I like this, not leaving anything up to chance. So it looks like we're not going for the same play as last time. We're not waiting until 2 shuttles or anything like that. I don't know. Is he going to try this Bulldog maneuver again? It really didn't go well for him last time. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. We'll have 5 by the time he gets here, plus vultures being added in. Already got a mine out front too. We could walk right into this. We have no detection up here. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bulldog can be a great play, but your opponent has to be caught off guard and in a bad position, right? This is a good defensive posture. This barracks here is going to absorb shots from any of the goons coming up while the tanks shell them. You have to actually micro and focus the goons onto these units, or they're just going to hit this. They're not going to attack it like that. Oh, and he even gets a pot shot off. Mines in front. Yeah, this is... Tech can't engage this. I really hope that he doesn't go for this again. And as Killer Ace pointed out, yes, there is a large SCV advantage at the moment. If he goes for this attack and loses everything, and he's behind that much in workers, not a good scene. Not a good look for Tech. So here we go. What does he see as he comes up? Right, as we come... Oh, please, no, please. This is like my game. Don't lose the observer. Okay, so he sees this defensive posture. I hope... Oh, no, please don't do it. The tank line is deep. Please don't do it. Loses the shuttle. Does not get the zealots out. He's going to lose almost all of the dragoons. Pulls back 6. And a repeat of game 1, as the viewers say. I mean, perhaps this is something that Tech really practices, and against the people he's practicing with, it works a lot better. But Pollo just seems to have his number on that attack. He is not going to die to a Bulldog. I mean, even with the 2 turrets here as well. This is, you know, a Bulldog, it's a bit of an older strategy, right? And modern builds really account for a lot of that older kind of stuff. I'm very surprised to see Tech try that again after how it went the first time. And again, now he's playing from behind. Absolutely. Pollo can just walk out and take a 3rd base now. There's nothing that can stop him, right? I mean, 6 Dragoons injured are not going to stop his force from taking a 3rd base. Not at all. And Tech takes his own 3rd quickly in response. But I would have loved if he just, rather than doing this attack, he just took this 3rd base right off the hop and took a 4th base. And just used what he had on the map to prevent his opponent from moving out, right? A shuttle with zealots, that's difficult to move out against, right? If you get out in the open, where you don't have these mines, you don't have these turrets, and then your opponent engages into you, including the shuttle from the side with the zealots, you can stomp this whole force, but trying to do it at the natural door was not the way to go in this scenario. Even adding in a couple of Goliaths here, anticipating more shuttle play. We're up to 5 facts. Tech needs to add a few more gateways, only on 5 gateways. Generally, you want to be about approximately 3 gateways above your opponent's factory count. More is better, of course, but I mean, to stay on par. Looks like we don't have upgrades rolling just yet. +1 just started for Tech here. Did establish this third base, no problem, so that's very nice. And as we saw from the previous game, Poyo took a while to actually move out and attack, right? So he's probably going to get this up for free. He has caught up significantly in probe count. Looks like Poyo simply stopped building while he's been doing everything else. So this is a nice little windfall for Tech there. Despite the early game and losing those units, it's not as bad as it could be at this point. But it's never easy to go 3 base versus 3 base in PvT. Ideally, you want to have maybe, you know, this corner or this corner in addition to your couple of bases by your main. You want to start that refugee Protoss style, maybe another clump of gateways here or something like that, so that if your Terran opponent does come across the map and makes a beeline for your natural, you can reinforce from here and hit from multiple angles, from your entrance and from here. If you're just attacking from your entrance as he comes across and he gets a good siege position, you will never break it. And wow, just look at this tank count again. Poyo leans very heavily into the siege tank count early, not going for a lot of vultures. Looks like he's only got, what, about 8 at the moment? 8 or 9? Yeah, but a ton of siege tanks, feeling absolutely comfortable here that his opponent cannot attack him. Okay, so we've basically caught up on worker count. And it looks like Tech is planning to take this top left base, so that's very nice to see, but we need some more units here. I mean, this is good, but this force is scary. Once you start reinforcing with just Vulture as you move across the map, it starts to swell considerably. And do we have... I don't see a Citadel yet. Unless we missed it at a base. No, no Citadel. There it is, tucked in the corner. My apologies. And we'll have to see if he gets legs in a timely fashion this time. What a difference it is when you engage the Terran army if you have leg speed versus not having leg speed. It's night and day, right? If you have legs on the Zealots, okay, and he does, good, right? You can just run into the tank line, drag mines, get on top of the tanks, and it makes a massive difference with the engagement. And just look at this setup. Look at this minefield and setup here for Poyo. Very nice. Looks like he's even gearing up to take a 4th base. He scouts out this 4th base of Tech here, and this might prompt him to pull the trigger, right? I mean, Poyo, 160 supply. This is about the time when you can start moving across the map and just reinforce and slowly max out as you push forward. You know, you may have to leapfrog as you move forward, so you have some time to continue to build up that army. And I think it's just a matter of production facilities here from Tech, right? I mean, we're still only on 5 gateways. At this point in time, even in your main, you probably want to have 8 to 10. He's not able to spend his money as fast as he would like, even with this carrier production. Very nice, though, staying about even on worker count. Very nice, and we see an unsiege here, so this might be the time. And here we go. Looks like we have Tech gonna have to respond to this move out here from Poyo. How's he gonna choose to do that? He has a sizable force here, but he's only got about 3 control groups of units. He needs to catch him mid-move out. He needs to do a pincer from the sides as this comes down. If this gets sieged in front of you, it's incredibly difficult to deal with. But oh no, Poyo, he hasn't brought the entire army with him. He needs to, here we go, he needs to move the rest of this. It's lagging far behind, and the engagement comes in from Tech before he's ready. Siege is up, but he needs to get, okay, wisely backs up. This is a good choke point for Terran. Okay, and now he sort of realizes the danger he's in. How's he going to respond? We need units queued here. We need something going. This is a tough scenario. So many siege tanks. +1 is finished. And the 2 carriers, this is not going to be enough to help repel this. This is looking like a dire situation here for Tech. I don't see how he possibly breaks this army. He waited too long to engage, and the siege tank cluster is up in front of his base. His only hope at this point is going to be stalling out for more carriers, but they're so far away. Boyo reinforcing. There's the big Goliath train. 2 carriers is not going to cut it for him here. And just shelling down these units of Protoss. He's only engaging in clumps. I think Boyo's about ready to take this one home. And GG is called. Boyo taking it 2-1. And finalizing our first set of the day. Okay, so that brings us to Nightcat versus Vile Tomato. We're going to take a very quick commercial break so we're not interrupted, and then we are going to jump right into Game 1. NSL6 playoffs, third place match. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. NSL6 playoffs. It's the third place match. Just Desserts versus Rocket Raiders. Just Desserts taking a 2-1 lead map score with Boyo taking the first set. We're going to get right now into Nightcat versus Vile Tomato. Let's go. Spawning in the top right. It's Nightcat. And in the bottom left, the man himself, the most foul of tomatoes, it's Vile Tomato. Sporting the, the handsome black color, my favorite. Okay, so cross spawns, right? We're getting a lot of cross spawns in this cast here. Very nice. Always love seeing these macro games. Yeah, Killay says the legend himself. That's right. Vile Tomato sticking up for his team. He's got 2 sets he's playing for his team this week in the playoffs. This tomato grows in the ground as tubers. Yes, he's also been known to be a vile potato if he plays Protoss. You know, a little bit of a dig at us Protoss players saying that we're, potato brain, but, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm psionically linked with all my other potato Protoss players, so take that. So we're going to have to see how Vile Tomato wants to approach this map, right? If you've played him before, you know that Vile Tomato is the kind of gentleman that comes into a tournament match with a plan, right? He analyzes what his opponent does. He tries to come in with a set game plan per map of how he's going to take the match from his opponent. He can play macro too, but I would say overall he's more known for very decisive to the letter plays. So going to be interesting to see what he brings here against Nightcat. If he has something specifically targeted for this map, perhaps not this one because it's just a big, sort of standard map. But like we said before, retro, it has a lot of narrow chokes, a lot of narrow passageways, a lot of places for mutalisks to fly. So we'll see, right? Looks like he's going for a pretty standard opening here. Gets his hatch before pool. No gases as of yet. Just drone scouting, which I appreciate, right? A lot of Zerg players do not drone scout. Whenever I play Zerg personally, I love to drone scout. You send the Overlord one direction, drone the other. You just don't get caught off guard by something stupid like a BBS from your opponent in ZVT, right? Drone scouting can be highly valuable. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you have so little drones and you're sacrificing so much economy." I would rather do that than just straight up die to something I didn't scout because my Overlord didn't go the right path or it was too slow. You know what I mean? I think it's worth it, personally. And Nightcat, nothing fancy here. He's pulled 2 off gas. Now that he's got his fact down. Just going for pretty standard stuff. Nice little block on the ramp there, so Vile Tomato knows where his opponent is, but he cannot get up and see what's going on. And this is very cognitive of Nightcat too, right? Because again, not every Zerg player drone scouts. So the fact that he just sits this first Marine here on hold position to make sure that he can't get up, very nicely done. And Vile Tomato grabs that 3rd hatchery, going for a vertical spawn path here, expansion path. Good stuff. Heavy on the drones too, only 2 lings, you know? Nice little opening here from Vile Tomato. He feels comfortable even though he didn't get up here and scout what's going on. Oh, absolutely, Insom, but he didn't get up here. He didn't see it, right? He was denied the drone scouts, so he has no idea. Then we have Nightcat taking a 2nd CC. Pretty nice stuff. Already a creep colony started at the front too. Perhaps Vile Tomato, because he didn't get up there, is a little bit scared of an early push. And this can be something that happens, like, oh, look at this. Looks like we're going to go straight into mech play. I like that out of Nightcat here. That's not something you see all the time. A lot of the times you'll see you start off with bio. You know, you go into either an academy push, or maybe you even go all the way to 5 racks, you know, with your vessels before you transition to mech, but he's going straight to it. I like that. Vile here is Lair. Almost finished. Almost certainly going to be Mutalisk. Oh, perhaps not. Den at the front. Has he anticipated this? I mean, he does see the Vulture out here, but that doesn't tell you 100% that it's going to be mech. And I do feel like, personally, it can be very difficult to play mech against the Mutalisk play, right? You need so many turrets. You got to add Goliaths, but Goliaths don't feel great fighting anything else from Zerg. Interesting. A very interesting opening game from these two. We've yet to do anything with the lair. Are we going to be adding a Spire, or are we going to get Lurker? What's the play? Looks like perhaps we're grabbing a Spire. Oh, and Vile Tomato slips into the base of his opponent. Going to get some SCVs here for free. Where is the reaction here from Nightcat? We have a bunker going down. Oh, no. I mean, SCVs can fight, but they got to fight. Oh, and this first tank getting picked off would be huge. Nightcat taking so much damage right now. He needs to surround this tank and repair. He cannot let this go down. A huge play here from Vile Tomato. Getting in here with these lings and just getting such a lead in workers. Actually up in workers now. This is never a scenario you want to be in. Nightcat. Caught off guard there. I don't think he was ready for that whatsoever. My goodness. And here comes the second round. We still only have a singular tank here. He needs to keep this alive. He cannot let this tank go down. Oh no, and gonna lose so much more. We can micro the vultures, but we're losing so many SCVs. 10 SCVs to 19 drones. This is Nightcat's game to win. Vile Tomatoes to lose. Nice play here. And it is Aspire that's going to follow this up as well. I don't see Nightcat having a response to this now that he's taken this much damage. 12 SCVs to 21 drones. And when Mutalisks fly in here, what do? Engineering base just started now. Now we're not going to have the money even for turrets. Very nice plays here out of Vile Tomato. And getting these are you kidding me? Everything going the way of Vile Tomato here. Even getting the speed vultures. Oh, my apologies, they're not speed yet. But still, even just getting the vultures, very good. I like this. Just adds a sunken over at his third. Vile here just thinking, okay, how can I lose from here? Right? What could possibly get him back in this game from here? Because I have done so much damage. Well, one of the things is a vulture sneaking through and killing all these drones, so he's not going to let that happen. It's a mark of a very well-versed player here, a well-educated player, you might say. And just there's no turrets, right? There's no turrets. Mutalisks are on the way. 6 mutas. Well, I think this is going to just be GG at this point. Hey, Shimmer, thanks for joining us, buddy. NSL's right. NSL6 playoffs. Here we go. Nightcat, he's seen the Mutalisks, but there's nothing you can do now. He panic puts down some turrets, but it's too late. Vile Tomato, he's in here. You're never getting rid of these Mutalisks, and GG is called. So a very nice opening game here from Vile Tomato. Decisive plays. That's what I was talking about. Decisive plays. Running in there with the Lings at just the perfect time, catching his opponent off guard like that. So much damage done, and then the follow-up, right? The follow-up, the killing blow. That's what I'm talking about. Vile Tomato, that's the kind of player he is. You got to be ready for those sharp plays. All right, we're going to go right into it to game 2. Okay, looks like we're headed to Sandstorm. In the bottom left, we have Nightcat. Of course, this would be his map pick. And in the top right, we have Vile Tomato. Now, Sandstorm, of course, a remake of the famous map Bluestorm, with a nice little pathway down the center that only some units can fit through until you open up the bridge. A little bit different from Bluestorm, where there was no way to open it up, if memory serves. It's been a long time since I've played it. So you could do some early plays with bio or things like that, or like a fire bat push or something cheeky through that opening sort of center. But on Sandstorm here, you can open this bridge up after you mine out the minerals there, and then anything can get through. It's just not accessible for the early game. And this was Nightcat's pick, so we're going to see here perhaps an academy play, like a stim rush or something like that, because he can just push through the middle. I don't know, it's hard to say. And perhaps someone can fill me in. Are we playing on a different map version or something? Why is there no minerals here? Take back everything I just said, because I don't know what's happening now. Okay, and pool first here out of Vile Tomato. I mean, with the short rush distances on this map, you kind of have to go for that, right? It looks like he's even going to check around here for any proxy barracks, BBS, anything like that. I would say if I was in his position as Vile Tomato and my opponent, a Terran opponent, picked this as their map pick, I would be expecting a cheeky play, right? I'd be expecting something proxy. Whether it's BBS, whether it's something else like a proxy factory, something like that, I would highly expect that. I'm actually shocked. Does anyone know why this was changed? That's like a core feature of this map that you can't get through there until later in the game. It's interesting. I wonder if they changed it for the playoffs. First Lings coming out here from Vile Tomato. Only going for 2. Doesn't feel too threatened. Continuing to drone. Nice little... Oh, he doesn't quite stop it. He almost stopped it, but he will clean this up quick. Only 2 hits left. And Nightcat, not going for any sort of cheeky play. Just going for sort of what he did last game. And you see Vile Tomato, he's looking for it. He's like, okay, what are you doing? Where is this? Because you picked this map for a reason. Where is it? Right? Looking everywhere for any sort of proxy. He knows that he's ahead, and he can't let some sort of silly play take him to 1-1. You know, he wants to do a clean sweep here, so he's looking for everything. Oh, Nightcat here, feeling a bit scared, I think, right? 5 SCVs blocking the entrance here. I don't know if that's necessary. That's a huge economic impact. And we have no indication of any sort of attack coming from Vile Tomato here. I mean, he got in here too. Nightcat maybe feeling a little bit rattled because he got in here. He saw that there was nothing crazy coming and there was only 2 lanes. Yet he's blocking his entrance with these 5 SCVs. That's very curious. I'd love to ask him about that later. Now that he has this Vulture out, he feels a little bit more comfortable. And he gets his expansion started in his base. And Vile Tomato 2, he's in very good positioning here. He's going to be able to see that this gets taken right away. As soon as SCVs start mining, he doesn't even need to have another unit over here. Good stuff. Ah, Vile, thank you for joining us. You say this is a nice game? Well, your first one there was a very nice game, my friend. Very decisive plays. I was singing your praises there. Very nice opening match. And you came just in time because the rest of the games for today feature you. So there you go. Nightcat coming across with 2 Vultures here, maybe looking to put on a little bit of pressure. With this Sunken here in this nice Sim City, though, you're not getting really anywhere with that. Perhaps you could slip by this little choke if you had speed on the Vultures, but don't know if that would be worth it. And Vile, this time, opting to go for the early Lurker that we thought he was going to do in the previous game. And I will say Sandstorm this is why I was surprised that Nightcat picked this map, because Sandstorm is a very nice Lurker map. It is hard to play this map against Zerg with Lurkers, right? You either got to push across this tiny little bridge into a Lurker field, or you have to come up to your third base and push up a ramp into a big widespread Lurker field, or you got to go all the way around, which again can be choked up by Lurkers. This is a Lurker map. It's so good for Lurkers on this map. There's so many places that you can really hamper your opponent. PvZ on this map in particular is an absolute nightmare. And I mean, seeing the Hydras just come out and just casually walk across the map should be all the information you need as Nightcat, right? I mean, if you see that, you know what the play is. It's going to be early Lurkers. There's no reason that you would be just walking like 2 Hydras out of your base at the timing that he saw them. Oh, you cheeky little devil. Look at this. Vile Tomato. This is what I'm talking about, those decisive plays. He's got a plan for everything. He's always prepped with a plan, and he's going to do a Lurker drop. Now, yeah, this engineering bay, it sees this, but it doesn't know what's in it, right? He could just be thinking he's coming in here for just to scout, you know? He didn't see the Lurker load up. Here we go, he runs it across. Is he gonna get it over there in time? God, Lurkers are fast. Look at that little spider go. And he burrows in the nick of time. 1 shot left. Vile Tomato, the luckiest tomato there ever was. And here we go, he's sending more. He's not done yet. He's already in here, he's gonna continue. This is so tough to deal with. Can these ones get into position as well? More units here. Chooses to go up towards the natural instead. There is a turret here. Oh, he gets 1 volley. Damages a lot of SCVs, but doesn't kill a lot. So, fortunately for Nightcat, he handled that one a little bit better, and he does clear the one in his main. Overall, a lot invested from Vile Tomato, only a little bit of damage. He is down in worker count still, but that's to be expected when you're the Zerg player. But we only have 2 bases, and Terran has 2 bases, so where do we take it from here now? He's going to go take this 12 o'clock position. He's going to have to get some lurkers in here to defend, so he'll be safe to take that. But he's perhaps not at the economic position he wants to be at this point in the game. I think when you do a play like this, when you invest that much, you need to get a little bit more damage done. But on the flip side, if you're Nightcat, it's kind of scary to move out right now, isn't it? You can't really go do any damage in return. You just have to take the game to the next stage. Yeah, lurkers versus mech always tough. Yeah, agreed. But we see our Zerg player here is transitioning. We're going into Spire now. And again, right, this is likely a response to seeing that it is mech. Well, it looks like we might be even just taking a fast fourth. Oh, I did. Is that same lurker? I did not even see. Oh, it was a second lurker drop. Okay. Very nice. Very nice play here. So he's getting the comm set up. He will clear this eventually, but even just delaying this, taking your opponent down to 1 base, so obnoxious to deal with when you're Terran. And there we go. It does get cleaned up. And Vile Tomato, going up to 4 bases, feels in control of this game. Little does Nightcat know, if he were to move across the map right now with the force that he has, he could probably do some substantial damage. With that Overlord being taken out down here, Vile Tomato now supply block temporarily, pops a bunch of OVs to get back up there. A lot of heavy droning here. And he must feel comfortable in the position that he's in, that his opponent is too scared to walk across the map. He's too scared of the thought of more lurker drops. Because if you do a big wave of drones and your opponent just decides to move out, that can spell disaster, right? As it is right now, he's almost caught up to the worker count of his opponent. Very nice too, Carapace. You know, not something you see every Zerg player get. A lot of Zergs either no upgrades when they go Muta, or they go right for the attack upgrade. But in this case against mech, it makes sense, right? You're going to be just overall needing more volleys, which means you need to survive longer. It's not like getting +1 or +2 when you're fighting bio that it makes a massive, massive difference. It's more about the survivability of the Mutalisks and the ability to harass while turrets are firing at them, etc. I like that. That's a nice play to get Carapace first. Hello? Hello? Are we going Mutalisk Man? Perhaps Guardians? We are getting a second Spire. So it looks like we need more upgrades. We need all the upgrades. That is very true, Killace. I mean, Valkyries are nothing to turn your nose up at, right? I mean, 2, 3 Valkyries can just decimate a Mutalisk flock. But it all comes down to that micro. You know, you got to be able to do that sliding attack with the Valkyries, or you just fly them in and you instantly lose them, right? It's a skill you got to practice. They have their own really sort of unique kind of micro that you must be able to master, or they're just a bad unit. But if you can master it, all of a sudden they're godlike. Yeah, very good point, Killace. The double expand from Vile Tomato to sort of regain his position after that opening. I mean, look at him now. Almost on par with workers, 4 bases up, healthy army, right? This is a scary spot here for Nightcat to be in. Needs to start establishing that 3rd base. He is going to go build it on location, which is very nice. But this is kind of the problem with Sandstorm, right? Now where does Terran go? Where do you go from here? Every base is so hard to defend from here. We've got Vile moving across the map. Even looking to take a 5th base down here, too. Is he going to do a mass drop here? Is that what's going on here, or is this just a rally? Weird. It looks like we're going to have a mass drop. Very cool stuff coming out of Vile Tomato here. Just abusing the fact that it's incredibly hard to move a mech army around this map, right? He's got everything at his 3rd right now, but he's got to move down here through this choke, over here, through his own SimCity of factories here. It's a tough map for Terran to move their army. I like this a lot. Even bringing the rest of the stuff here. He's like, I'll bring some drones too, no problem. I'll make a hatch in your main. This is good too, adding some sunkens just in case, right? Just in case his opponent pulls the trigger and moves across the map. Yeah, maybe a gas steal, yeah, possibly. Okay, here we go, Vile Tomato coming in. Big drop coming in. He did in fact load up the drones. What a madman. Here we go, there's nothing here, 2 mines. But he flies right past. Panic mode here from Nightcat, he needs to pull everything, here we go. Huge attack coming in here from Vile Tomato, right on the production of his opponent. No fear. There are no tanks here, just Goliaths. Single file, thank you. What does Nightcat do from here? Eventually he will clear this, but he's going to take so much damage. Nice D-Matrix. Okay, all right. Okay, so Nightcat, he does repel this. However, what a distraction this has been, right? He repels this. Vile Tomato's taking a 5th base. Vile Tomato has more upgrades going. He's still got this huge Mutalisk flock that he's now going to attack with. 3rd base is exposed. Army is out of position and greatly reduced in number, and now he feels he can't have it all in one location, because this could easily happen again. Here we go. Mutalisk coming in. That's a lot of Goliath and turret, but that can be easily taken out. He's got the Carapace upgrade. He can man mode this. He can fight it. Very nice. I would love to see him take out this Science Vessel. Don't even give Irradiate a chance. Just going for the SCVs, though. Good play. And just macroing behind this. He doesn't even care. He's not even looking at it anymore. Vile Tomato just showing a dominating performance here. And remember, this was his opponent's map pick. Okay, so overall, didn't even lose too much. He lost about half the Mutalisk flock, but it's easily replenished here. He's got double upgrades going. He's going all in this. Likely going to head into Guardians later, as Guardians on this map with such narrow choke points are going to be fantastic. Look at this flock. Oh my goodness. Nightcat just really on the back foot here. He's on the ropes. And yeah, that's an excellent point. We have all of these Mutalisks made. We've lost some. We've had a ton of Lurkers, ton of Hydras. And Vile Tomato still has a 2k gas bank. He's on 5 bases. Here we go. Okay, well, this might not be the play. Significant amount of Goliaths here now. I don't know if we can fight this one. Irradiate going down. Uh-oh, this might be a bit of an overextension here. Can Vile Tomato clear this? A lot of Goliaths remaining. Looks like he just barely is going to win. More Goliaths reinforcing. We don't have another Irradiate. These Mutalisks starting to thin out. And choosing to go for the tank count. Oh, wow. Another huge flock of Mutalisks coming in. The pressure from Vile Tomato is incredible. And this 3rd base completely denied. Oh, big Irradiate, big Irradiate. He doesn't see it. Oh, no. Loses this entire control group of Mutas. A good turnaround here from Nightcat. Can he save this third base? Another huge group of Mutalisks. Are you kidding me? How is he affording this? Vile Tomato. I think he grew up as a Mutalisk. He started as a larva, he got in a cocoon, and he emerged as a beautiful Mutalisk. The third base. It's like Evolves. Yeah, you're right, it is like Evolves. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for Nightcat here. The Mutalisk pressure just did not let up. And look at this, even more. How many are we on at this point? We've got to be on 30. This is like a campaign mission. So we're finally thinning out this Mutalisk block. Vile Tomato at this point, finally overextended. But we got the third base. We have focused all of his production completely onto Goliath and Science Vessel. And we've taken the lead in worker count, and we're on 5 bases. Wow, that was... You know, I got hats off, okay? Hats off to Nightcat for even surviving that. That was, as I said, Vile Tomato, he's that kind of a player. That was the most dedicated, extreme push I have seen in a very long time. And he held on. And that in itself is completely commendable. Hats off to Nightcat. I would have died to that. Wow, that was exciting. Now the real question is, can we hold on when a ground army's mixed in? We're pure Goliath at this point because we're so scared of the overwhelming amount of Mutalisks. But you know, Vile, he didn't skip on his ground upgrades. 2-1, very nice. 2-1 in the other way for the Mutalisks. This is a scary force here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 Goliaths, 2 tanks, and a Vulture. 17 Goliaths. Ooh, it's going to be tough. Killa Ace says, how does Vile just do everything? Yeah, right? Soma smurfing? Absolutely, man. This is the power of so many bases with Zerg. Here we go. This might be the final engagement. Can Nightcat hold on and reestablish this base? Big Irradiate's going down. The Mutalisks fold. But the ground army seems to be overwhelming. I don't know if Nightcat can hold on. The tanks go down. The third base is denied again, and Nightcat calls GG. Oh my goodness, what a game. Wow. Fantastic. Vile Tomato taking his first set 2-0 versus Nightcat. And that puts Rockets Raiders back on the board. They are now up in map score. Incredible. That was a treat of a game. I love that. Thank you very much to our players. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay the bills, get Twitch off our backs, and we'll be right back for Jay Schlong versus Vile Tomato. Don't ask me to pronounce his real username. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. NSL6 playoffs, week 1. This is the 3rd place match. Just desserts. First Rockets Raiders. This is Hyperion Tier 3. We are going to get into our final game, our final set. Sorry, not our final game, our final set of the day. We have Varu, which is what I'm going to call him, aka Jay Schlong, aka can't pronounce his name, versus Vile Tomato, his second set of the day. Let's get into it. Spawny in the top left, going for his second set. It's Vile Tomato. And in the bottom right, we have Varu. We have Jay Schlong. A ZVZ. No, a ZVZ, but again, a cross spawn, right? So this can change the math a lot of the time in a ZVZ, right? There are some builds that are only going to hit your opponent and kill them before they have enough ling, say, to defend if you're close spawn, right? Cross spawn can really change things sometimes, so we're going to have to see if that comes into play here. Going to be interesting to see how both of these players approach the ZVZ matchup, as I'm sure all of you watching know, everyone knows, ZVZ, the biggest knife fight in all of esports, right? It's fast, it's furious, they're usually quick games. All comes down to that micro, that control. Who's better with the lings? Who's better with the mutalisks? Not always so much of a strategic matchup, but a lot of the times a mechanics test for both players. So really, who's got the better mechanics? That's what we're going to have to see. We've got Vile Tomato, in my personal opinion, I'm not a Zerg player most of the time, but in my personal opinion, this feels like a risk. This feels like a risk, but it might be a risk that pays off because we are cross-spawn. So he goes for the hatch first, or his opponent goes for pool first. But again, because we're cross-spawn, he may have enough in time to defend any potential attack from his opponent, and then he simply has a faster hatchery, more larvae available, and more mining available, right? And it all comes down to the larvae in this matchup. You know, you can have faster lings, but if your opponent can use a drone or two to defend and then simply has more larvae than you, it's over, right? So we have Varu now coming down. He's going to take a hatchery of his own. Overall, I think advantage goes to Vile Tomato in this opening, but of course neither player knows that yet. We do see that in ZVZ, of course. Neither player is drone scouting because you simply cannot spare it. Right? In ZVZ especially, every drone is incredibly precious. And there we go. So Vile obviously very practiced at that build. This build that he's open with. He's still getting his 6 lings using the larva from his hatchery that pops just at the same time. Very nice to see. We have speed here started for Varu on the other side of the map. We're going to have to see if that is what Vile Tomato immediately goes for, or if he chooses to go for a lair instead. I think if your opponent's going speed and you go lair first, you can get a little overconfident sometimes. It's hard to understate how much better speedlings are than slowlings. I mean, you can have a third more, maybe even half more of slowlings than your opponent's fastlings, and you'll lose still, right? It can be misleading how much that actually affects you. And Varu just slips this right by here. Vile Tomato doesn't even stop to kill that. He's going to get a scout off here of his opponent. Thankfully, Vile is also going speed, so by the time that Varu's finishes, his will not be far behind. It shouldn't be too impactful for this game, but we're going to see. Nice little ling wall here, as well as a sunken going to be added right away, so Vile's not going to be able to get any damage done here. And interestingly enough, he's actually up on his opponent in worker count despite opening with the later hatch. So I think with this sunken here, I don't think Vile Tomato can push into this. I think there's simply too much here. We're about even on the ling count, but this sunk's going to make all the difference. And we do have some, oh wow, big round of drones actually from Varu here. So we're going to have to see. I'm not sure about pushing in here with the sunk. And Vile Tomato looks like he thinks twice, thinks better of it. He's just going to back off for now. We have Lair started on the side of Jshlong here. Lair started now for Vile Tomato as well. So again, neck and neck, not too far behind. Even if Varu's Mutalisks are a little bit faster, by the time they get over here, the same amount will have popped for Vile Tomato because he's only a few seconds behind. And this is the delicate balancing game, right? How much do I drone? Did my opponent drone one more than me? Do they have that slight advantage? Because even a singular drone can be a big advantage in this matchup. We got a cheeky little Overlord Scout coming in here from Varu. Just wants to see what's going on. Confirm that it is, in fact, Lair from his opponent as well. Unlikely to be anything else, but you do want to see if something crazy's coming. Maybe he's banking just an astronomical amount of lings. Spire goes down. Excuse me? Hello? Vile Tomato? What? Your lair was almost finished and you canceled it? Why not just let it complete? Very, very interesting. What prompted this? I mean, so he's choosing to go the route of defending with spores instead. But his lair was almost finished, like it was seconds from finishing. He would have been just on par with Varu here. I am so curious about this. Why was this the game plan? Huh. I mean, spores are good, right? A bunch of spores, you're going to defend just fine, but you have to spend all these drones to make these spores. We could have just gone straight into, you know, a ton of Mutalisk. He is going to have a hatchery advantage. He is going to have more larvae. And what is this? What is going on in this game? And Varu is going for a fast Queen's Nest? For a fast Hive? Well, this is unlike any ZVZ I've ever seen. I am lost. If anyone else wants to point out what these gentlemen are thinking here, my puny little Protoss brain cannot comprehend the level of 4D chess that these guys are playing. So, if I had to guess, we're going to do some sort of crazy Guardian or Devourer, push into this, and somehow Vile Tomato has sniffed this out and is preparing for it with the ground army of Hydralisks? I'm flabbergasted. Seriously. Wow. Now, I guess the real question is, do these guys play all the time? Now, I know they're both in the PG practice group, so they might play all the time. They might know how the other person likes to approach the matchup. But this is, I gotta say, this is not what I was expecting coming into this. Not at all. The fact that we're up at the 8-minute mark here and basically no action has happened is, you know, that's a treat in itself. And I mean, we've got a couple of Mutalisks, but 3 Mutalisks versus all these spores. This is, we don't even care about this, right? We just go, okay, yeah, you fly over here, take some damage, and go away. That's fine. And there we go, Hive's completed, and the Greater Spire has begun. So it is looking to be a Guardian Rush. Now you gotta think, right? If you're Vile Tomato here, and let's assume that he hasn't sniffed this out yet, he doesn't know. I don't know if he does know, and that's why he went for this, but let's assume that he hasn't. When you see this small amount of Mutalisk at this time, that's gotta tip you off at this point, right? That he's going to be going for Guardians or something like that. I mean, at this point in the game, if it hasn't already ended in a ZVZ, right, and your opponent's going for Mutalisks, and to just see 5 or 6, you know, that's got to tip you off here that something is out of the ordinary. Now, I guess too, it's really going to come down to the engagement. Will the Hydralisks be able to get on top of the Guardians when they finally do get in here? I mean, this is a nasty position for Guardians. Firing over this ledge here, being able to deny mining completely here. And here we go. The Greater Spire is almost done. And Killa Ace says, problem as the Hydra player is you don't really know if they went Guardian or Lurker or just mass Expos and Mutas. And I have a feeling that is, yeah, that's a very delicate kind of situation to gauge. We have 8 Guardians morphing here, and I just don't see how Vile Tomato can respond to this. This looks like it is a perfect play for this map. He's all holed up. We only have, what, 7 Hydras? And they can't shoot over here at this. They walk up here, they're dead instantly. And I don't think Vile Tomato ended up going for a Spire at all. He simply does not have one. So this could simply be the end of the game. Here we go. How's he going to respond? The gas is instantly taken out. Yeah, and he knows he's got to go. He's got to go. There's no fighting this. He's going to lose everything. It's do or die. He must kill his opponent right here, but I just don't see it happening with this force. I mean, that is a lot of units, but he needs to get some drones out on the map or something to take another base. Here we go, Vile Tomato. It's do or die. He must break his opponent here. He has no other option. 4 Sunkens and 2 Guardians. This is a fairly substantial force. He is making progress into this base. Taking too much damage from these links on the side, though. Thinning out that Hydra count, and now the Guardians are going to have free reign here. And this is looking like lights out for Vile Tomato. Varu, Jayshlong coming in here. A Guardian rush, just completely unexpected. Very nice plays here, and I just don't see how Vile Tomato can hang on. Yeah, and with 10 Guardians here, no Spire, and only a couple of Hydralisks, he can just walk up. Everything will die so quickly here. Doesn't need to retreat, he can just fight this. And that should be about it. It looks like Vile Tomato calls GG, and Varu takes game 1. All right, everybody. We're going to go to a very quick commercial break, and then we will head into Game 2. Varu versus Vile Tomato, NSL6 playoffs. We'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna jump right into it. Game 2, Varu versus Vile Tomato. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left of Sandstorm, it's Vile Tomato. And in the top right, it's Varu / Jay Schlong. Okay, so game 2, Vile Tomato's pick. So we're going to see what he brings out here. We saw in some previous games, had just a prepared strategy for his opponent, Nightcat. We're going to have to see if picking this map, he has something specific for ZVZ as well. And Love Snow, I don't have any problems with anything that you're doing, but you had some bad etiquette, homie, and I think you don't realize that how you came off to some people. I'll message you about it after. So we've got Vile Tomato going for the in-base hatchery here. So it looks like we're gonna have some sort of extreme link pressure. That's his plan for this map. Meanwhile, we have Varu on the other side of the map. Going for the early gas. Going to be getting speed, looks like. So again, talking about that larva advantage. So here we go. We have the 6 initial Zerglings coming out from Varu here. He's coming across the map with his Overlord, but he's not going to see this second hatchery until it is, it might be a little too late here, right? Just the larva advantage that you get from doing this is massive. It's all well and good to have great Ling Micro, but if you simply do not have enough production to keep up, that's it. And here we go, the initial engagement coming in. Vile Tomato blocking off his entrance here right off the hop, trying to deceive his opponent and hide for now that he has a second hatchery in here. Meanwhile, we have Varu on the other side of the map with his lair halfway completed. Looks like he wants to go for a 1-base lair play, trying to get that early spire. I mean, this could backfire though, right? I mean, if Vile hides these Lings and then can stream across the map before the Mutalisks are out, if you kill all the drones, doesn't matter if there's some Mutalisks, right? You can simply kill all of your opponent's stuff before his Mutalisks can wear you down. And here we go. Okay, so we have Varu coming in now with his Overlord, and Vile is going to pull the trigger. Pushing out, has to push up to the bridge. This is where his opponent is. Not a great engagement right off the beginning. Getting a little bottleneck on that rock there. Need to be careful he doesn't trade too poorly. He takes out this force from Varu, and he starts streaming across the map with more Lings going to be in production here. How is Varu going to respond to this? Looks like, and this is just what I was talking about, we don't have any larva. We've got 1 larva. Building a creep colony. He needs to get some more defenses out, but it's not going to be in time. How is he going to hold this off? The sunken colony just now. Morphine. Almost halfway done. Vile, he needs to take out this force, and he needs to take out this sunk immediately. He starts targeting the sunken. Oh, and he has to back out. Is he gonna get it? Oh my goodness. Oh no! 15 health, but the second wave is coming in from Vile Tomato. Can he hold on? Varu, he's on the back ropes. Okay, he gets this. Starts to take out the Lings of his opponent, but again, he is repelled. A little bit of lost mining time there, and we cannot get ourselves a spire down. That's the important part here, is he simply doesn't have any money. He is spending everything possible on defending. Vile just needs to chill for a second, get that critical mass, another wave of Lings, and he's got this. This is nice, so you can drill around this and try to defend this in the back. This is nice, but again, it comes down to that larva. We can't keep this up forever. It's 2 hatcheries versus 1. I will give it to him, though. He is definitely giving it his best shot here to hold on to this. And even another sunken being added. Is he actually going to hold this? I'm going to be shocked. I mean, he's down 7 drones to 12. He's had to spend so much on building sunkens. Yeah, and it looks like he could have done the offensive sunkens, but chooses not to. Pulls those back. I think that may have just been from the rally. Getting a lair of his own because he knows his opponent does not have a Spire available and is way down on drone count. I think Vile Tomato at this point realizes that, okay, 3 sunkens, I'm not going to break this, but you cannot get ahead in any way. I just need to just calm down, go to the next stage of the game, kill you there. And there we go. There's that Spire coming down, but Vile, just on the same time, gets his own Spire. And he sees this, of course. He knows he's absolutely fine here. He can count the drones. He knows what's going on. He knows he has a big advantage. He just has to hold on to it. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to simply come down to that larva again, right? Vile Tomato is going to be able to make more Mutalisks than his opponent. That's just the long and the short of it, right? I mean, even Varro here, he's spending his larva before this Spire pops. He needs to be able to make 3 Mutalisks immediately, but he will not be able to. And here we go, Vile Tomato, 5 Mutalisks, almost 6. There we go, 6. And here we go, Vile Tomato coming across the map with his superior Mutalisk force. I don't normally like to call a game before it's truly over, but there truly is nothing Jay Shalom can do at this point. When he sees these, he will likely instantly GG as the game is over. And there we go. Taps out. Vile Tomato taking game 2. Okay, so we are tied up 1-1. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we will have our final match of the day for NSL6, the 3rd place playoff games. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. My apologies, just choking to death on my coffee. Let's get into game 3. Varu versus Vile Tomato. Okay, Spawny in the top right, we have Jayshlong. And in the bottom right, we have Vile Tomato. Looks like we're taking it to lights out for the final game of the day. Nice big macro map. I love it. Get the Smiths in chat. Thank you, Mick. So right off the hop, we see that Varu is going to be scouting in the correct direction, as well as Vile Tomato. So their overlords will pass, like 2 ships crossing in the night. I am sure all of you have heard that stupid expression used about 6,000 times in StarCraft Cast, but it's going to happen again here today, and they will know immediately. Yes, for all the marbles. Yes, let's get into all the cliche sayings. It's the one for all the marbles. 2 ships crossing in the night. Let's put it all out there. So a little difference right away is we see that Vile here, I don't know if this is going to be an extractor trick, or if he's actually just going to take this. Oh, looks like he's just going to take it. So gas before pool. Then of course we have pool and gas from Varu. I'm not correct. Okay, I was going to say, I know he didn't just forget his spawning pool, right? He didn't do that, right? There we go. So, overlords see each other, and they know exactly where their opponent is. Very nice. This also makes it difficult to do any sort of cheeky, kind of sneaky, Ling all in or anything like that, because you will... Each person will see exactly what their opponent is up to, right? With this overlord overhead very quickly. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic of ZVZ, right? It's like the only matchup that I can think of, or mirror matchup, where you know exactly what your opponent is doing at almost all times. By the point where the game gets to the overlords being chased out, the game is like coming to its climax at that point. You're about to have the big engagement, the big Mutalisk fight, the big micro, but before that you see everything. So we have Varu here coming out with his initial 6lings. We have 6 on the side of Vile Tomato to fight this off. Looks like they're going to be ready just in time. Can probably block this choke on the ramp. And there we go. Oh, is he going to slip in here? Is he going to go for it? Oh, and wow, just some nice little micro there from Varu. He actually comes ahead in that engagement despite being at 6 for 6. A little bit of trouble here for Vile Tomato. Oh, we can't lose a drone this early. That would be a disaster here, and it looks like, unfortunately, he does get a drone. More Lings streaming across the map and just targeting the drones. I do like this from Varu. Vile Tomato is, oh my goodness, 3 drones now down. He has taken so much damage at this point. I mean, at this stage of the game, those are so precious. 9 for 7, and he had to get a sunken. His lair is finished faster, but he needs to get that Spire down right now. Right? He needs to get an advantage with this Spire because he took that damage. We're down 3 workers. This is really thrown a wrench in the plans of Vile Tomato here. He's not going to be able to afford anything that he wants. It doesn't matter that this Spire is going to be later from his opponent, because he simply does not have the money. And more Lings streaming across the map here. We do have enough from Vile Tomato to defend this time, and he can pull back to this sunken if it need be. I really feel like he needs to get around his opponent's Lings, and he needs to get in here and do some damage of his own. Right? We've lost too much at this point. We're just simply not mining enough gas to be competitive. we go. Varu coming up, looking to just test this ramp again, but at this point we know that's kind of a fake pressure, right? Varu 2 on gas. It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Oh, wow. Guys, do you see this amazing deal in chat? Oh my goodness. Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, and chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Doghype.com. There you go, everybody, if you want to fake views. But we don't fake views here in NSL. We just watch great games of StarCraft. Vile Tomato opting to go for some Scourge off the bat. Perhaps kind of realizing that the sort of position that he was in, that he simply could not afford anything else. So we've got 3 Mutalisks and a pair of Scourge. 3 Mutalisks from his opponent, with a 4th on the way. So Scourge Impact could make the difference here. It looks like he's hoping to ambush his opponent while he picks off this Overlord. This is going to supply block Vile Tomato. Here we go. Can the Scourge get a good connection? 1 hit. Needs to get that second one. Taking out this Mutalisk would be huge. Oh, and it connects on the wrong unit. And it looks like Vile Tomato is going to come out ahead despite everything. A very nice engagement here. All of a sudden, Varu on the back foot. Up in worker count, but he simply has nothing to defend this. He's going to lose all of his drones. And that's it. GG is called. Vile takes the game. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Vile Tomato putting up for his team, playing both slots, winning both sets. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for today's NSL6 cast. We're going to run a very quick commercial break, and then we're going to go raid another channel. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, it's been a pleasure. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're going to go hit Herbmon with the raid, show him some love. Been streaming forever. He's a great player. Love the guy. Let's go.